Hi, this is MIcornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. Today I want to deal with common causes of complaints in every church. And these complaints, they need some attention, please. And in every church, there will be some complaints. You will find people complaining about that and that. But we want to, today, as Church Governance Solutions, bring about those that are common. And those causes, those common causes that cause complaints, so that we can work on those causes in advance and make sure that we prevent some of the complaints that may come. And I know that you will not get rid of all complaints in churches, because people in church can complain, but we are speaking about keeping a lot of complaints and trying to reduce number of complaints as well. And that is dealing with the causes and not just the symptoms. And that's what we're speaking about today. Now, the first thing that causes a lot of complaints in churches is what we call misappropriation of funds. Misappropriation of funds. And we want to advise ministers and leaders of church, of the gospel, to avoid misappropriation of funds in a church. Remember that church finances are public finances and they should be treated as such. So therefore, the money of the church must be treated as the money of the people. So therefore, if money is being misappropriated in a particular church, it will cause complaints. And majority of the churches that are splitting and having people fighting, they're mainly fighting about money. And it's purely because monies have been misappropriated. Now, it's very important that we keep proper records of money. It's very important that we handle monies of the church in a proper manner. Let's record them. Let's have proper accounting processes that will actually protect the church from splitting because of financial problems. And we want to emphasize that because it's very important that we speak about this. And majority of the people are missing that because they have actually been many times actually misappropriating finances and nobody's complaining about. As the church grows, you're going to find people that are actually very particular about seeing how their monies are being used. So you cannot afford to misappropriate funds, and that is something that can be preventable. So please have a structure that manages finances. Let it be that you're having people that are good and are astute in managing the finances of the church, and feedback and report backs about finances becomes then very crucial and very important as well, because when people are given feedbacks and frequent reports about their finances, complaints can be averted or can be prevented here. The other cause of complaints in churches is divisions amongst church members. Now, some of the church members are classing each other according to some statuses and so on. There are those that are highly educated, those that are rich. There are those that are poor and less educated and so on. You have people that are privileged and underprivileged. And all those cliques, when you put them together in one church and people don't operate as the people who are having the heart of God, you're going to have a lot of complaints in the church because you're going to have cliques of people that are categorizing themselves according to statuses and classes. And that can even cause the split of a church. And we want to say as leaders, let's avoid and destroy these cliques in churches, and let's avoid people from categorization according to their status or standing in the community. Let it be that everyone is a child of God and people are treated as such, and they respect each other like the children of God. Let there be humble spirit in the church that equals everybody, so that everyone in the church would actually be seen as the child of God who needs actually to be seen as such and be treated as such as well. Now, we want to emphasize this because majority of the people are actually missing this. And there are divisions in churches, there are fights in churches because of the classes and divisions that are there. And we want to emphasize that as a church of God, to avoid the complaints in churches, please avoid those cliques that are formulating in the church. The other thing is lack of care and love, because love of God should be a common principle in the church. We must love everyone equally. We must love everyone, not because they've got money. We mustn't love people because they are our friends and families, but we must love everyone equally. Now, most of the time, we find churches that are actually loving others more than others. And they actually love their own and love their own classes and so on. And they love their own statuses as well. So love of God and togetherness in church should actually not be by looking at the faces of the people. And we want to emphasize that as Church Governance Solutions, because when you start to love people segregatedly, and then people are not the same in the church, there will be complaints. Because the love is then displayed by care. Who do you care for? If you care for specific people and others you don't care for, then others are going to complain about lack of love in this church. And therefore, you're going to have complaints about people complaining about not being loved and not being well cared of. And most of the time, those complaints are genuine because you find that it's only specific people that are taken care of, specific people that can feel the love of the leadership of the church and the people at large. So therefore, love and care must be shared amongst everyone in a specific church, because that's the only way we're going to deal with complaints in the church. The other thing is gossips amongst church members. Now, gossips must be avoided. We can't talk behind the back of each other. If you're going to do that, you are actually destroying the church. You are killing the spirit in the church. You are destroying the people in the church. And we want to urge you that you are becoming careful as a member of the church not to spread gossips, not to speak about other people. And when you find a church that is full of gossips, you're going to find complaints in the church. Because so-and-so has spoken about so-and-so, and so-and-so has said this about so-and-so, you're going to find complaints in the church. They're going to rise, and they are going to be in great numbers because people will be gossiped about at all times. This must be discouraged. And in any church, gossips should not be allowed. Because why do you gossip about someone while you could actually speak to them directly and confront them about issues that you want to address? So please, the spirit of a child of God is that which you go to your brother and make your brother aware of what you're not happy with, and speak to your brother about what you are offended about. Because when you gossip about people, you're causing offenses in the church. And as you cause offenses in the church, we are going to see complaints going up in great numbers, purely because people gossip about each other in the church. That must be stopped as well. Now, questioning appointments into positions. Now, many people complain because there are people that are put into positions because either they're a friend of the pastor or his relatives and so on. And sometimes we appoint the people because of how much they have. If they are rich people and we appoint them because of their riches, people are going to complain. So therefore, we should appoint people according to the criteria that is found in the book of Acts chapter 6. And if you read Acts chapter 6 going down, you'll realize that the complaints that were in the church was purely because there was no care, no love. But then the Bible gives us the criteria of appointing people. Appointed them because they must be spirit-filled. There might be people of beyond reproach. There might be people that live for God. And all those criteria, you find them also in the book of Acts chapter 18. Acts chapter 18, that is when when the father-in-law of Moses, in fact, and he was actually speaking to Moses about how to manage the people, how to judge the people, and so on. So he said he must appoint the people, and those people must be spirit-filled, those people must be of wisdom, they must be people that are having good character, and all those categories and criteria are the ones that you should actually appoint people based on. It should not be that we appoint people based on friendships and cliques and so on. And that causes complaints in churches when positions in churches are actually for people that are favored and people that are not qualifying, people that are not having skills, and people that don't qualify according to the criteria of the Bible. So that will cause complaints as well, and we can avoid that. Lack of progress in church projects become a big problem as well. And majority of the announcements that we make, we announce about church buildings and financial raise, fundraisings and so on. But the problem is that when there's no progress in the projects that we are announcing, it will cause complaints in the church. You'll find people having a problem because you have been announcing about finances for building a church, but it's been 20 years now and nothing is happening. So what is happening? So people start grumbling and complaining about their monies that they contribute, but yet there's no progress in projects. And we want to urge, as Church Governance Solutions, you as leaderships of churches, that you must make sure that there's a progress in every project and you report back to the people. Let people be aware of how their monies are being used. Let people be aware of how far the project is. And you'll find that when you do so, people become satisfied and settled. And you'll find less complaints about projects when you report back to the people about the progress of those projects. The other thing is poor handling of people by board members. When the leaders are handling people badly, when the leaders are uneven-handed as well, they've got their own favorites. They love some specific people and they don't love others. They treat others badly. When you are a church leader, people must be treated equally. When you are a church leader, people must be loved equally as well. You can not be uneven-handed when you are a church leader, because that will cause a lot of rumblings in the church and complaints in the church, particularly purely because of lack of even-handed of treating people the same way. And I want to urge you to understand that that causes problems. When you are a leader, please treat people the same way. Lack of participation by most members. When members are sitting and folding their arms in church and they're not participating, they become spectators. And therefore, you start to hear a lot of rumblings and complaints. And particularly because they become spectators, they become people that are watching things happening, and they themselves, they are not participating. And because of that, they will complain a lot. Because people that complain are people that are doing nothing. And that must be avoided. Therefore, we must get every single member participating in the programs of the church and departments of the church, and that will actually keep everybody busy, and there will be no time for grumblings and complaints unnecessarily. I want to end up here today, your host, MIcornus Phokane. I'm the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. Remember, we are restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God on this platform. And I want to urge you to visit our social media platforms. Our Facebook page is Church Governance Solutions, and my personal Facebook page, MIcornus Phokane. So please like and follow us on that platform, and make sure that you do click notification buttons as well. Our TikTok account is under MIcornus Phokane, and please make sure that you follow us on the TikTok account as well, and the good Lord will bless you as you do that. We recently got to Instagram as well, so please follow us there. Make sure that you click notification button as well, and don't forget our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is Young Men Empowerment Forum, and in that YouTube channel, there's a lot of videos that we posted in the past. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel, click notification button as well. Don't forget to share these platforms with your loved ones, because they would love to listen to what we are teaching here on this platform, and I believe that they will learn as well. So please urge them to share the platforms as well further to other people. May the good Lord bless you until we meet again with another great topic. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.